All right, hi everyone. There's coding on the envelope of the October 13th Zodiac Letter that arrived 2 days after the Paul Stine murder that was sent to the San Francisco Chronicle that shows how Charlie escaped from the murder scene. And I want to show you what that is. Okay, so in the area where the Zodiac symbol is at the top of the envelope, right, you have the Zodiac sign. So if you notice, there's like a dog or a wolf on top of the sign. That person or that animal is howling at the moon, right? So he's saying, by moonlight, and then you see this figure of a person right here. That's Charlie, you know, Charles Arthur Leach, the Zodiac, right? And that smudge area that you're looking at is the Presidio. It's larger than the Presidio because it shows his escape route all the way to his house, which was below the Presidio in the San Francisco area. So again, you have the Zodiac sign saying Zodiac by moonlight with the dog or wolf howling at the moon. That's him, you know, that's him walking right there. He walked right from the top of the Presidio, looks like down the coastal area to an area I believe is like Mile Rock Beach. And then eventually, I think the darker spot is where he's saying he got to Golden Gate Park, crossed back into San Francisco, down either through the park or like along Lincoln Way, and then came up to his apartment where he lived with Ellen at 2190 Grove in apartment 5. So now I'm going to go to Google Maps and try to show you what that looks like. All right. So we're going to continue to Google Maps. I'm going to put in their address, right? And we bring this down and we bring this up. So this is their place. This is where they were living, 219 Grove, right? And then as I zoom out, you're now going to see its proximity to the Presidio. So as you can see, that smudge mark is the top of the Presidio, right? And then it's rectangular because it includes all the way down here to Golden Gate Park. So here's the murder, which was not too far from his house, right? So where you see Presidio Hill School, there's Maple and Cherry and Washington Boulevard. That's where the murder took place at Cherry and Washington. He got dropped off on Maple. He tried to escape down Jackson. The police car came by, went to Cherry, saw the Welsh guy, and then another guy trying to walk into one of the houses, which I believe is Charlie. So after seeing that, he doubled back down Jackson Street, came to Arguelero Boulevard, entered into the golf course here, right at the ninth green where the 10th tee box shows, and it's a way you can get in where the cars are parked, or so on and so forth. Falk and his partner go up Aguilera Boulevard after leaving the scene. Charlie goes into the golf course according to the code, goes all the way up into this area around Piper Loop, goes through the bushes, keeps going, and according to this new map, he makes his way all the way up here. It looks like somewhere around Fort Winfield or something, up or Battery or Helmet Rock. He looks like he went down the beach. So he's traveling down the beach at moonlight. He finally gets over here to Mile Rock Beach and then works his way down here to Golden Gate Park, comes down Lincoln Boulevard, and then curls back up to his apartment that he's living with Ellen. That's my suspect, Charles Arthur Leach. That's where they lived in 1968. And we were able to find that from the Polk directory from 1968. when we were looking up something else. Another thing is he went to St. Ignatius High School, where you see the USF School of Law. That's the old St. Ignatius High School address. See, the St. Ignatius Church is still there. So he was living around the corner from his high school, and the person of interest sketch from Lake Berryessa looks exactly like Charles Arthur Leach, and we got his high school yearbook in order to see that similarity. So these are the coincidences that I'm talking about. He's living around the corner from the school, right? This map shows that that is where he did. We go from the murder scene, Maple and Cherry, down Jackson, through the golf course, heading north, on over to like Fort Winfield, gets over to the beach, comes down, gets over here by Mill Rock, works his way down the beach by Moonlight to Lincoln Way, and then back over to his house. And you want to see something else that's really weird? Check this out. So if you go to there, this is the street view of his home, right? Remember how he was saying he was putting together a photoelectric bomb that cars would go by and wouldn't break the light, but if a bus went by, that would set off the bomb once he triggered it? So this is their apartment building. They were in apartment 5, which I believe is on the street at the lower level. Have to double check that. Was it on a school bus route? Yep, there it is. Goes right by the window. So the photoelectric bomb idea would have been right there. This bus, I believe, heading towards where his old high school was. So unless you believe in as many coincidences as you could possibly have on the planet Earth, at some point you just have to come to the conclusion that these people were the Zodiac. There you go. There's the map of him leaving the Presidio, heading down the coast, finally getting to Golden Gate Park, which I believe is this little dark spot down here as these lines are pointing to certain intersections. So he starts at the top, gets down here, he's in Golden Gate Park, and then crosses over and comes back up to his apartment at 2190 Grove, apartment 5. And he did it by the moonlight. The Zodiac did it by moonlight. I mean, what else can I tell you, man? It's not me making this up. That's definitely a guy walking. That's definitely Presidio on a map to somewhere. And that's definitely a dog or a wolf howling at the moon. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to figure out what this is all about once you know the other information.